Commander Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of his ship. The ship was called Liberty's Edge. It was one of Earth's biggest warships. Jake looked out at the stars through the big window. But today the stars were blocked. Huge alien ships filled the sky above Earth. They were bigger than anything humans had ever built. The ships were dark and scary looking. They had sharp edges and glowing red lights. There were hundreds of them. "Sir, we're getting a message from the alien fleet," said Lieutenant Karen Bell. She was working at the communication station. Her hands were shaking a little. "Put it on the main screen," Jake said. He tried to sound calm, but his heart was beating fast. The screen showed a tall, scary alien creature. It had green, scaly skin and yellow eyes. It looked like a giant lizard that could walk on two legs. The creature wore a black uniform with silver decorations. "I am Admiral Zexthil of the Kethvar Empire," the alien said. Its voice was deep and cold. "Your species will surrender now. You have 72 hours to make your choice." Jake felt his hands turn into fists. "What choice?" he asked. "Kneel before the Empire or die," Zexthil said. "We have conquered 1,000 worlds. Your planet will be 1001. The screen went black. The bridge was quiet for a moment. Then everyone started talking at once. "Can we fight them?" asked Captain Ryan Blake. He was the head of Earth's military intelligence. Ryan was a smart man who always asked good questions. "With what?" Jake said. "Look at those ships. They're huge." On Earth, President Helen Murphy was in an emergency meeting. She sat at a big round table with other world leaders. Everyone looked scared and worried. "We need to talk to them," said Ambassador Claire Rodriguez. She was Earth's best diplomat. Claire had talked to many alien species before, but never like this. "Talk about what?" asked General Patricia Hayes. She was the head of Earth's defense forces. "They want us to become their slaves." Dr. Lisa Carter was also at the meeting. She was Earth's top scientist who studied aliens. "I've been looking at their ships," she said. "Their technology is very advanced, much more than ours." "So what do?" "We do?" President Murphy asked. "We need more information," Claire said. "Let me go talk to them. Maybe we can find another way." 2 hours later, Claire was on a small ship flying toward the alien fleet. She was nervous, but tried to stay brave. Her job was to speak for all of humanity. The alien ship was massive inside. The walls were black metal with strange symbols. Alien soldiers stood guard everywhere. They all had the same scaly green skin and yellow eyes. Claire was brought to a big room. Admiral Zexthil was waiting for her. He was even scarier in person. He was very tall and had sharp teeth. "You are the human speaker," Zexthil said. It was not a question. "Yes, I am Ambassador Claire Rodriguez. I speak for Earth." "Then speak quickly. Time grows short." Claire took a deep breath. "Why do you want to conquer us?" "We have done nothing." "To you." Zexthil made a sound like laughing, but it was not friendly. "You exist. That is enough. The Empire grows by taking new worlds. Your world has good resources. Your people will make good workers." "Workers? You mean slaves." "Call it what you want. You will serve the Empire or you will die." This is how it has always been. Claire felt angry. "And if we refuse, then we will destroy your cities. We will kill your people. We will take your world anyway, but it will be empty." "You would kill billions of innocent people?" "The Empire has killed trillions. Your billions mean nothing to us." Claire felt sick. These aliens were monsters. What if we fight back? Zexthil made that terrible laughing sound again. "With what? Your little ships? Your primitive weapons? We have studied your species for months. You are weak. You fight among yourselves. You have no unity. You might be surprised, Claire said quietly. No, we will not be surprised. We know exactly what you are. You are emotional creatures who cannot think clearly. You will surrender because you are afraid to die. Claire stood up. I need to return to Earth. My people need to hear your offer. It is not an offer. It is a command. You have 70 hours left. Back on Earth, Claire told the world leaders everything. The room was quiet when she finished. They're going to kill us all if we don't surrender, said President Murphy. And if we do surrender, they'll make us slaves, said General Hayes. Maybe slavery is better than death, said one of the other leaders. No, said Ryan Blake. I've been studying their history. They don't just make slaves. They break people. They destroy cultures. They take children from their parents. Death might be better. Dr. Carter had been quiet, but now she spoke. I've been analyzing their technology. It's very advanced, but it's not magic. There might be weaknesses. What kind of weaknesses? Asked General Hayes. I need more time to study it. But every technology has limits. President Murphy looked around the table. We need to vote. Do we surrender or do we fight? Before anyone could answer, alarms started going off. Red lights flashed everywhere. What's happening? President Murphy asked. A soldier ran into the room. Madam President, the aliens just attacked Space Station Alpha. They destroyed it completely. 50,000 people are dead. Everyone in the room felt their hearts stop. Space Station Alpha was full of families. There were schools and hospitals there. Why did they attack? Claire asked. The soldier looked sick. They sent a message. They said it was a demonstration. They wanted to show us what happens to those who take too long to decide. General Hayes stood up. Her face was hard as stone. They killed innocent people, children. The vote is canceled, President Murphy said. Her voice was cold and angry. We're not surrendering to monsters. She walked to the communications center. Soon, her voice was being broadcast to every human in the galaxy. People of Earth and all human colonies, the Kethfer Empire has demanded that we kneel before them. They want us to become their slaves. When we asked for time to consider, they murdered 50,000 innocent people. Her voice got stronger. The Empire demanded kneeling. We answer with fire and dust. Humanity will not kneel. We will fight. We will make them pay for every human life they have taken. On the alien flagship, Admiral Zexthul heard the broadcast. He was not worried. He had heard such brave words before. They always ended the same way. Soon, the humans would learn what happened to species that defied the Empire. Soon, they would beg to surrender. But Admiral Zexthul had made one mistake. He had never fought humans before. He did not understand what fire and dust really meant. He was about to learn. The news of the attack on Space Station Alpha spread across Earth like wildfire. In every city, people watched the broadcast. They saw the pictures of the destroyed station. They saw the names of the dead scrolling across their screens. Among the dead were teachers, doctors, children, and grandparents. Families that would never see each other again. The aliens had killed them just to send a message. Colonel Alex Turner was in a secret military base deep underground. He had been waiting for this moment for 20 years. Alex was in charge of Earth's hidden weapons program. Very few people knew it existed. It's time, he said to his team. Activate all the sleeper cells. Wake up everything we've been hiding. For decades, humans had been preparing for this day. They had built secret weapons and trained secret soldiers. They had put hidden bases on asteroids and moons. The aliens thought they knew everything about human military power. They were wrong. General Patricia Hayes was in the war room at Earth Command. She was talking to military leaders from around the world. The Global Defense Initiative is now active, she said. "Every hidden weapon, every secret ship, every trained soldier. We're going to show these aliens what humans really are." Captain. Sam Ellis was on a small, fast ship near the edge of the solar system. His ship was called the Razor. It looked like a simple cargo ship, but it was actually a warship with experimental weapons. "Captain, we have a target," said his weapons officer, Lieutenant Tony Garcia. "Alien supply depot, just like the intelligence said." "How many alien ships?" Sam asked. "3 cruisers and some smaller ships. Maybe 100 aliens total." Sam smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "They killed 50,000 of our people. Time to return the favor." The Razor moved toward the alien depot. The aliens saw it coming, but did not worry. It was just one small human ship. That was there. Mistake. The Razor fired quantum torpedoes. These were weapons the aliens had never seen before. The torpedoes went right through the alien shields, like they were not there. The alien ships exploded in bright flashes of light dot in 15 minutes. The entire alien depot was destroyed. No alien ships escaped. On the alien flagship, Admiral Zexthul received the news. He was angry, but not worried. Humans had gotten lucky. It would not happen again. "Send a message to the human leaders," he told his communications officer. "Tell them we will destroy one of their colonies for every attack they make." The message was sent to Earth. President Murphy read it with her advisors around her. "They're going to kill innocent people no matter what we do," she said. "At least now we're fighting back." The aliens kept their promise. They chose the human colony of New Geneva. It was a beautiful world with green forests and blue oceans. 2 million people lived there. The aliens fired their planet killer weapon from orbit. In minutes, the entire planet was burning. The oceans boiled away. The forests turned to ash. Every living thing died. But the alien attack had an unexpected result. Instead of making humans scared, it made them angry. Very angry. Dr. Lisa Carter was in her laboratory studying alien technology. She had been working for days without sleep. Her eyes were red and tired, but she kept working. "I found something," she told her team. "The alien soldiers have computer chips in their bodies. The chips make them stronger and faster." "That's bad news," said her assistant, Dr. Kevin Ross. "No, it's good news. The chips have a weakness. They use a special frequency. If we can disrupt that frequency, their soldiers become normal again." Lisa started building a new weapon. It was called an electromagnetic pulse gun. It would shut down the alien computer chips. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Maya Johnson was preparing for her first combat mission. She was a pilot in the human resistance fleet. Her ship was small and fast, perfect for hit-and-run attacks. "Remember," her squadron leader told her, "we're not trying to win big battles. We're trying to hurt them, make them bleed, make them afraid." Maya nodded. She had lost friends on Space Station Alpha. She wanted revenge. Her squadron found an alien patrol near Mars. 3 alien cruisers were moving slowly, thinking they were safe. "Attack pattern Delta," Maya said into her radio. "Hit them fast and get out." The human ships came out of nowhere. They fired missiles and energy weapons. The aliens were caught by surprise. 2 of their ships exploded immediately. The 3rd ship was badly damaged, but Maya was not done. She flew her ship straight at the damaged alien cruiser. Her weapons were almost empty, but she had 1 torpedo left. "For Space Station Alpha," she said, and fired. The torpedo hit the alien ship's engine. The ship exploded in a ball of fire. Maya's squadron returned to base. They had destroyed 3 alien ships and lost none of their own. It was a perfect victory, but the aliens were learning too. Admiral Zexthul called his war council together. "The humans are not fighting like we expected," he said. "They are not. Trying to protect their worlds. They are attacking us. Their attacks are small, said one of his officers. They cannot hurt us seriously. Perhaps, but they are learning. And they are not afraid to die. Zexthal sent a message to the Kethvar. High Command. He asked for more ships and permission to use the Empire's most powerful weapons. The answer came back quickly. The High Command was sending more fleets. They were also sending planet-killer weapons. Earth would be destroyed as an example to other species, but the High Command made a mistake. They thought this was a normal war against a normal enemy. They did not understand that they were fighting humans. Captain Nicole Davis was evacuating civilians from the outer colonies. Her ship, the Mercy, was designed to carry refugees. But it also had weapons. Captain, alien ships are coming, said her radar officer. How many? 5 cruisers. They're moving to intercept us. Nicole had 3,000 civilians on her ship. Men, women, and children who just wanted to live. She had to protect them. All weapons ready, she ordered. We're going to fight our way through. The battle was fierce. The alien ships were bigger and stronger. But Nicole's crew fought like their families were depending on them. Because they were. The Mercy took heavy damage, but she kept fighting. One by one, the alien ships were destroyed. When the battle was over, the Mercy was still flying. Get us to the safe zone, Nicole told her pilot. These people need to live. Captain Ben Torres was leading raids on alien supply lines. His job was to make sure the aliens could not get food, fuel, or weapons to their fleets. Hit them where it hurts, he told his crews. No supplies, no war. Torres and his ships attacked alien cargo vessels and supply bases. They moved fast and struck hard. The aliens started having trouble feeding their soldiers and fueling their ships. Back on Earth, Commander Jake Morrison was developing a new battle plan. It was called the Hellfire Protocol. The plan was dangerous and would cost many human lives, but it might work. We can't match their numbers, he told General Hayes. But we can hurt them so badly, they'll think twice about fighting us. What do you need? Volunteers. A lot of them. And our best ships. You'll have them. Dr. Carter finished her new weapon. The electromagnetic pulse gun was ready. She also had a new idea. What if we could build a ship designed just to fight the aliens? She asked Colonel Turner. What kind of ship? A hunter. Something that could track down their biggest ships and destroy them. Turner smiled. I like it. What do you need? Time, materials, and our best engineers. You'll have them. The war was changing. The aliens had started it by demanding surrender. But humans were fighting back in ways the Empire had never seen. The Kethvar Empire was used to easy victories. They would arrive at a planet, demand surrender, and get it. If they had to fight, it was usually over quickly, but humans were different. They did not surrender. They did not give up. Every attack made them fight harder. Admiral Zexthal was starting to worry. The humans were causing more damage than he had expected. They were also learning fast. Perhaps we should talk to them again. One of his officers suggested. No, Zexthal said. The Empire does not negotiate with inferior species. We will crush them. But deep in his heart, Zexthal was beginning to wonder if these humans were really inferior. They fought like demons and never gave up. On Earth, President Murphy gave another speech to the world. The Empire thinks they can break us by killing our people. They are wrong. Every attack makes us stronger. Every death makes us more determined. We will not kneel. We will not surrender. We will fight until they leave our space or until we are all dead. Across human space, people heard her words and felt hope. The aliens were strong, but humans were not helpless. The real war was just beginning, and the Empire was about to learn that some species could not be conquered, They could only be destroyed or freed. And humans had chosen to be free. The war between humans and the Kethver Empire had been going on for 2 months. The aliens controlled most of space, but they were learning that controlling space and controlling humans were two different things. Every day brought new attacks. Human ships would appear from nowhere, destroy alien vessels, and disappear again. The aliens had more ships, but humans had something the Empire did not understand. Fury. Captain Nicole Davis was leading another evacuation mission. Her ship, the Mercy, was packed with families fleeing from the war zone. In the cargo hold, children played games while their parents worried about the future. "Captain, we have a problem," said her first officer, Lieutenant Mark Johnson. "Alien. Patrol ahead. 4 cruisers." Nicole looked at the display. The alien ships were between her and safety. She had civilians to protect and limited weapons. "Can we go around them?" "No, ma'am. They're spread out in a search pattern. They'll see us no matter which way we go." Nicole made a hard choice. "Send a message to the colony ship Phoenix. Tell Captain Ben Torres we need help." Torres received the message while he was raiding an alien supply depot. He was deep in enemy territory with only 3 ships. "Sir, the Mercy needs help," his communications officer reported. "They're trapped with 3,000 civilians on board." Torres did not hesitate. "Set course for the Mercy. Maximum speed." "But sir, we're outnumbered. 4 alien cruisers against our 3 ships." "Then we'll have to fight smart," Torres said. "Prepare the special weapons." The special weapons were Dr. Carter's new electromagnetic pulse devices. They were designed to shut down alien computer systems, but they had never been tested in a real battle. Torres and his ships arrived just as the aliens were closing in on the Mercy. The alien cruisers were huge and powerful. Torres's ships looked like toys next to them. "All ships, attack pattern Omega." Torres ordered. "Target their engines first." The human ships moved fast, diving and weaving between the alien vessels. They fired their EMP weapons at the alien engines. The weapons worked perfectly. The alien ships suddenly slowed down, their engines failing. "Now hit them with everything we have," Torres said. The battle was fierce but short. The alien ships, without their computer systems, could not fight effectively. All 4 cruisers were destroyed. The Mercy and her precious cargo of civilians escaped to safety. On Earth, Dr. Lisa Carter was working on her biggest project yet. She was building a new type of warship with engineer Paul Wright. It was called the Reaper class. "This ship is designed for one purpose," she explained to General Hayes: "to hunt and destroy alien flagships." The Reaper was smaller than a normal battleship, but much faster. It had the most advanced weapons humans had ever built. It also had an artificial intelligence computer named Fury. "The AI will help the ship react faster than any human pilot could," Paul explained. "It learns from every battle and gets better." "When will it be ready?" General Hayes asked. 3 weeks if we work around the clock," Lisa said. "You have 2 weeks," Hayes replied. "The aliens are building up for a major attack." Meanwhile, Lieutenant Maya Johnson was becoming famous throughout the human fleet. She had destroyed more alien ships than any other pilot. Her squadron was called the Ghost Squadron because they appeared and disappeared like ghosts. Maya was planning her most dangerous mission yet. Intelligence had discovered the location of Admiral Zexthil's command ship. It was heavily protected, but Maya thought she could get close enough to gather information. "This is suicide," her squadron leader told her. "That ship has more weapons than our entire fleet." "Maybe," Maya said, "but someone has to try. We need to know what they're planning." Maya took her fastest ship and flew toward the alien fleet. She used every trick she knew to avoid detection. She hid behind asteroids and used electronic jammers to confuse alien sensors. She got close enough to see the command ship. It was massive, bigger than anything she had ever seen. But she also saw something important. The ship had a weakness. Its shields had a small gap near the engine section. Maya sent the information back to Earth and prepared to leave. But then she saw something that made her angry. The aliens were loading human prisoners onto transport ships. They were taking humans to become slaves. Among the prisoners, Maya saw children, young boys and girls who should have been playing, not suffering as alien captives. Maya made a decision that changed everything. Instead of leaving, she attacked. Her small ship dove toward the transport vessels. She fired all her weapons at the ship holding the children. The transport exploded, but the explosion also freed the human prisoners. All prisoners, this is Lieutenant Maya Johnson of the Human Fleet, she broadcast on emergency frequencies. If you can hear this, help is coming. But Maya's attack had revealed her position. Alien fighters swarmed toward her ship. She was outnumbered 100 to 1. "This is Ghost Leader," she said calmly into her radio. "I found the kids. I'm bringing them home." Maya's ship was destroyed, but her sacrifice saved 300 human prisoners. Her last message was broadcast throughout human space. Never give up. Never surrender. Make them pay for every human life. Commander Jake Morrison received Maya's final transmission while he was preparing the Hellfire Protocol. The plan was nearly ready, but it needed someone to lead it. "I'll do it," he told General Hayes. "It's time to show the aliens what real fury looks like." The Hellfire Protocol was simple but deadly. Human ships would launch a coordinated attack on the alien fleet. They would not try to win the battle. They would try to cause maximum damage before being destroyed. "It's a suicide mission," Hayes said. "So was the attack on Space Station Alpha," Morrison replied. "The difference is we're going to make them pay." Dr. Carter's Reaper ship was finished ahead of schedule. The AI named Fury was activated for the first time. Captain Ben Torres was chosen to command the new ship. "Hello, Captain Torres," Fury said when it was activated. "I am ready to serve. What do you know about fighting aliens?" Torres asked. "I have studied every human battle against the Kethver Empire. I have analyzed their tactics and weaknesses. I am ready to destroy them." Torres smiled. "I think we're going to get along just fine." The Reaper launched just as the alien fleet was approaching Earth. Admiral Zexthol had brought every ship he could gather. He was determined to end the war by destroying Earth completely. "Today, we finish this," he told his officers. "The humans have caused us enough trouble." But Zexthol did not know about the Hellfire Protocol. He did not know about the Reaper. He did not know that humans had been preparing for this moment. The battle began when the alien fleet entered Earth's solar system. They expected to find a small human defense force. Instead, they found the largest human fleet ever assembled. Ships came from every human colony. Volunteers who had never been soldiers took control of cargo vessels and converted them into warships. Everyone wanted to fight for Earth. Commander Morrison led the first wave of attacks. His ship, Liberty's Edge, charged straight into the alien formation. Behind him came hundreds of other ships. "For everyone who died on Space Station Alpha," Morrison said, "for New Geneva. For every human who will never see their family again." The human ships slammed into the alien fleet like a hammer. They fired everything they had. Many human ships were destroyed, but they took alien vessels with them. The aliens were shocked. They had expected humans to defend Earth from a distance. Instead, humans were attacking with everything they had. "They're insane," one alien officer said. "No," Admiral Zexthol replied. "They're desperate, and desperate creatures are dangerous." In the middle of the battle, the Reaper appeared. "Captain, Torres and the AI Fury worked together perfectly. The ship moved like a living thing, dodging alien weapons and striking at their weaknesses. "Target the command ship," Torres ordered. "Acknowledged," Fury replied. "I have identified 17 weak points in their defenses." The Reaper cut through the alien fleet like a knife through paper. The AI calculated the perfect attack patterns, while Torres made the quick decisions only a human could make. But the real surprise came when the alien command ship opened fire on the Reaper. The ship's weapons were incredibly powerful. They should have destroyed any human vessel. Instead, the Reaper absorbed the energy and used it to power its own weapons. Dr. Carter had designed the ship to feed on alien energy. "Impossible," Admiral Zextel said as he watched the Reaper destroy ship after ship. "Nothing is impossible," Captain Torres replied on the communications channel. "You just haven't met humans before." The battle raged for hours. The alien fleet was larger, but the human ships fought with a fury the Empire had never seen. Every human knew they were fighting for the survival of their species. As the battle continued, something began to change. The aliens started making mistakes. They were used to fighting enemies who were afraid of them. Humans were not afraid. They were angry, and angry humans were the most dangerous creatures in the galaxy. The tide of battle was turning. The Empire was about to learn that some species could not be conquered. They could only be destroyed or freed, and humans had chosen to be free. The battle for Earth had been raging for 6 hours. Space around the planet was filled with burning ships and debris. The alien fleet was bigger, but humans were fighting like nothing the Empire had ever seen. Commander Jake Morrison's ship, Liberty's Edge, was badly damaged. Half his crew was dead or wounded. His weapons were almost out of ammunition, but he kept fighting. "Sir, the engine is failing," his engineer reported. "We've got maybe 10 minutes before it explodes." Morrison looked at the alien command ship on his screen. It was huge and powerful, but it was also damaged. The Reaper had done good work. "Set course for the command ship," Morrison ordered. "Sir?" "That's suicide." "Maybe, but if we're going to die, let's make it count." The Liberty's Edge limped toward the alien flagship. Admiral Zexthal watched it coming and laughed. "One damaged human ship thinks it can hurt us," he told his officers. "Destroy it." But the Liberty's Edge was not alone. As it approached the command ship, dozens of other human vessels joined it. They were all damaged. They were all running out of weapons, but they all had one thing left: their lives. "This is Commander Morrison to all human ships," he broadcast. "Today we show them what happens when you threaten Earth. Today we show them what humans really are." The human ships crashed into the alien command vessel like a wave against a cliff. They exploded one by one, each explosion weakening the alien ship's shields. Morrison's ship was the last to hit. As the Liberty's Edge struck the command ship, Morrison had one final thought: we do not kneel. The explosion tore a huge hole in the alien flagship. Admiral Zexthal was thrown to the floor of his bridge. Emergency alarms were screaming. Half his crew was dead. "Damage report," he demanded. "Shields are down. Hull breach on 17 decks. We're losing power," his officer reported. Zexthal looked at the tactical display. The human fleet was smaller now, but they were still fighting. Every human ship fought until it was destroyed. They never retreated. They never surrendered. What kind of creatures are these humans? He wondered. His answer came when Captain Ben Torres and the Reaper broke through the alien defensive line. The AI named Fury had been learning throughout the battle and now knew exactly how to hurt the aliens. "Target their communication arrays," Torres ordered. "Cut off their ability to coordinate." "Acknowledged," Fury replied. "I have identified the primary communication nodes." The Reaper moved through the alien fleet like a deadly dancer. Its weapons struck with perfect precision. One by one, the alien ships lost contact with their command ship. Without coordination, the alien fleet began to fall apart. Ships crashed into each other. Some fired on their own vessels by mistake. The Empire's greatest strength had always been their ability to work together perfectly. Now that was gone, but the battle was far from over. Admiral Zexthal activated his personal guard and prepared to board the Reaper. If he could capture or destroy the ship, he might still win. "Prepare the boarding pods," he ordered. "We're going to take that ship." Captain Sam Ellis was leading the defense of Earth's orbital stations. His ship, the Razor, was one of the few human vessels still in good condition. He saw the alien boarding pods heading for the Reaper. "Not on my watch," he said. "All ships. Protect the Reaper." Ellis and his remaining ships intercepted the boarding pods. It was a desperate fight in the cold vacuum of space. Human fighters battled alien troops hand to hand in the wreckage of destroyed ships, but some of the alien pods got through. They attached to the Reaper's hull and began cutting their way inside. Captain Torres heard the sound of cutting tools on his ship's hull. "Fury, can you seal the breach?" "Negative, Captain. They will be inside in 30 seconds. Then we fight them here." The aliens cut through the Reaper's hull and poured inside. They were huge creatures with advanced weapons and armor. But they had never fought humans in close combat before. The battle inside the Reaper was brutal. The aliens were stronger and better armed. But humans fought with a fury that terrified the invaders. Every human crew member knew that if they lost, Earth would be destroyed. Torres found himself face to face with Admiral Zexthal in the ship's main corridor. The alien admiral was huge and covered in armor. He carried weapons that could cut through steel. "You have caused me much trouble, human," Zexthal said. "But now you die." "Maybe," Torres replied. "But I'm taking you with me." The fight was brutal. Zexthal was bigger and stronger. His weapons were more advanced. But Torres had something the alien did not: the desperate fury of a human protecting his home. They fought through the ship's corridors, destroying everything around them. Zexthal's weapons cut deep wounds in Torres's body. But Torres kept fighting. "Why do you not surrender?" Zexthal demanded. "You are beaten." "Because we're human," Torres said through gritted teeth. "We don't know how to quit." The fight ended when Torres managed to grab one of Dr. Carter's electromagnetic pulse weapons. He fired it at close range, disrupting the aliens' computer systems. Without his enhanced strength and speed, Zexthal was just another creature, Torres's. Final blow sent the alien admiral crashing through a window into space. But the victory came at a terrible cost. Torres was badly wounded and bleeding. The Reaper was damaged and drifting. "Fury, can you get us back to Earth?" he asked. "I will try, Captain, but our engines are failing." Meanwhile, the battle in space was reaching its climax. The alien fleet was in chaos without their command ship, but they still had enough firepower to destroy Earth. Captain Nicole Davis, commanding the Mercy, made a desperate decision. Her ship was full of refugees, but she also had the most advanced sensors in the fleet. "I can guide the remaining ships to the alien weak points," she told General Hayes over the radio. "But I have to get close, very close. Nicole, you have 3,000 civilians on board." "I know. But if we don't stop them now, there won't be anywhere safe for these people to go." Davis flew the Mercy into the heart of the alien fleet. The civilian ship was not built for combat, but it had one advantage: the aliens did not see it as a threat. "All human ships follow my lead," Davis broadcast. "I'm painting targets for you." The Mercy used its sensors to identify the weakest alien ships. Human fighters and bombers followed its guidance, striking at exactly the right spots. One by one, the Alien ships began to explode. Their fleet was falling apart. Admiral Zexthel's second-in-command, Captain Vector, tried to restore order. But the human attacks were too coordinated. It was as if the humans could read the aliens' minds. How are they doing this? He demanded. The answer was simple. Humans were fighting for their survival. They had studied every alien tactic and found ways to counter them. They were not just fighting with weapons. They were fighting with their brains. Dr. Lisa Carter, watching the battle from Earth, saw something that made her smile. The aliens were making the same mistakes over and over. They could not adapt to human tactics. They're too rigid, she told Colonel Turner. They follow the same patterns every time. But humans are unpredictable. The battle was turning. The alien fleet was bigger, but it was losing. Human ships were destroying alien vessels faster than the aliens could respond. Captain Vector realized his fleet was doomed. He had two choices: retreat and face the Empire's punishment, or die fighting humans. All ships prepare to withdraw, he ordered, but it was too late. The humans had surrounded the alien fleet. There was no escape. Sir, the humans are blocking all escape routes, his officer reported. Victor understood now why Admiral Zexthel had been worried. These humans were not like other species the Empire had conquered. They were dangerous in ways the Empire had never imagined. Captain Sam Ellis led the final assault on the remaining alien ships. His voice echoed across all human communication channels. For Space Station Alpha, for New Geneva, for every human who died because these monsters thought we would kneel. The last alien ships were destroyed one by one. The great Kethver fleet, which had conquered 1,000 worlds, was reduced to burning wreckage around Earth. In the debris field, Captain Torres and the damaged Reapers slowly made their way back to Earth. Torres was weak from blood loss, but he was alive. Fury, send a message to all human ships, he said. What should the message say, Captain? Torres smiled through his pain. Tell them we won. The victory celebration was brief. Everyone knew this was just the beginning. The Empire would send more fleets. They would want revenge, but something had changed. Humans had faced the Empire's best and won. They had proven that the Kethvar were not invincible. President Murphy addressed the galaxy from Earth. The Kethvar Empire came here demanding that we kneel. They brought their greatest fleet and their finest admiral. They killed our people and destroyed our worlds. Her voice grew stronger, but they learned something today. They learned that some species cannot be conquered. They learned that humans do not kneel. The message was broadcast across the galaxy. On a dozen worlds, enslaved species heard her words and felt something they had not felt in years: hope. Admiral Zexta's body was found floating in space, surrounded by the wreckage of his command ship. With him died the myth of Kethvar invincibility. Empire would never be the same. They had met humans, and humans had answered their demands with fire and dust. The war was far from over. But now the Empire knew they were fighting an enemy unlike any they had faced before. An enemy that grew stronger when 6 months had passed since the Battle of Earth. The wreckage of the Kethvar fleet still drifted in space around the planet, a reminder of what happened when someone tried to make humans kneel. President Helen Murphy stood in the rebuilt Earth Command Center. Through the windows, she could see construction ships building new defenses. Humans were not just rebuilding. They were preparing for what came next. Madam President, we're receiving reports from across the galaxy, said her intelligence. Chief Colonel Alex Turner. The Empire is falling apart. Murphy looked at the reports on her screen. On world after world, enslaved species were rebelling against their Kethvar masters. The news of Earth's victory had spread like wildfire. How many worlds are in open? Rebellion? She asked. 43 so far, and more every day. Dr. Lisa Carter entered the room carrying a datapad. She had been promoted to head of human technological development. Her team had been busy studying captured alien technology. "We've finished analyzing their ships," she reported. "Their technology is advanced, but we understand it now. We can build better weapons." "How much better?" Murphy asked. "Much better. The aliens relied on the same technology for centuries. They stopped innovating because they never faced serious resistance. But humans never stopped learning." Captain Ben Torres was in the shipyard orbiting Earth. He was watching the construction of humanity's first fleet of Reaper-class warships. Each ship had an artificial intelligence like Fury, but improved based on battle experience. "How many ships will be ready?" he asked the chief engineer. 20 Reapers in the first batch, 50 more in production. And we're building bigger ships too. Dreadnoughts. Torres smiled. The dreadnoughts were massive warships designed for one purpose: to hunt down and destroy Kethfor battle fleets. On the bridge of the original Reaper, the AI Fury was training new artificial intelligences. Each new AI learned from Fury's combat experience. "Remember," Fury told them, "the Empire thinks in patterns. Humans think in chaos. Use that." Captain Nicole Davis was no longer commanding a refugee ship. She now led the Human Liberation Fleet. Her mission was to free enslaved worlds and bring them into the growing alliance against the Empire. "Our first target is the Zelka system," she told her officers. 3 worlds, 10 million slaves, light Kethver defenses. "What about the civilians?" asked her first officer. "We save them all. That's what humans do." The Liberation Fleet jumped to hyperspace. They were no longer just defending Earth. They were going on the attack dot in the Kethver Empire's capital city. The High Command was in emergency session. The massive aliens sat around a crystal table, their faces grim. 43 worlds in rebellion, reported the War Master. "Our forces are stretched thin trying to contain them." "And the humans?" asked the Supreme Leader. "They are no longer just defending their territory. They are actively freeing our slave worlds. They call it liberation." The Supreme Leader's eyes glowed with anger. "Send more fleets. Crush these rebellions. We have tried. The humans appear wherever we are weakest. They fight differently than any species we have encountered. They adapt faster than we can respond." For the first time in 1,000 years, the Kethver Empire was afraid. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Maya Johnson had become Admiral Maya Johnson. She commanded the Ghost Fleet, specializing in deep strikes behind enemy lines. Her ships appeared without warning, destroyed their targets, and vanished before the aliens could respond. "Target acquired," her sensor officer reported. "Kethver Supply Depot, heavily defended." "How heavy?" Maya asked. 15 cruisers, 3 battleships, Maya smiled. "Perfect. Time to show them what ghosts can do." The Ghost Fleet attacked from 6 different directions at once. The aliens tried to respond, but every time they turned to face one group of attackers, another group hit them from behind dot in 30 minutes. The depot was destroyed, and the Ghost Fleet was gone. The surviving aliens never knew what hit them. Captain Sam Ellis was leading diplomatic missions to newly freed worlds. His job was to convince other species to join the growing alliance against the Empire. "Why should we trust humans?" asked the leader of the Jorik people. "You are just another species seeking to dominate others." "Because we've had the chance to dominate," Ellis replied. "When we freed your world, we could have made you our subjects. Instead, we offered you partnership." The Jorag leader considered this. It was true. Humans had freed his people and asked for nothing in return except friendship. "What do you want from us?" "Help us free other worlds. Help us show the galaxy that slavery is not inevitable." One by one, freed species joined the human alliance. They called it the Free Worlds Coalition. For the first time in centuries, the Empire faced organized resistance on a galactic scale. Dr. Carter made another breakthrough. She discovered how to use HFY technology to enhance human abilities without the weaknesses the aliens had. "We can make our soldiers stronger and faster," she explained to General Hayes. "But unlike the aliens, our enhancements won't make U.S. dependent on computer systems." "How?" "By using the human brain as the primary processor. Our minds are more flexible than any computer." The first enhanced human soldiers were volunteers from the units that had fought at Earth. They were faster, stronger, and tougher than normal humans. But they were still human in all the ways that mattered. Commander Jake Morrison had survived the Battle of Earth, though his ship had been destroyed. He now commanded the new flagship of the human fleet, the Defiance. "Sir, we are receiving a message." From the HFY High Command, his communications officer reported. "Put it through." The alien supreme leader appeared on the screen. He looked older and more tired than Morrison expected. "Human Commander, I wish to discuss terms," the alien sighed. "What terms?" Morrison asked. "Withdrawal. We will leave your territory and the territories of your allies. In exchange, you will stop your attacks on our remaining worlds." Morrison was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled. "No." "What?" "We don't want you to leave our territory. We want you to leave all the territories, every slave world, every conquered species. Complete withdrawal from all occupied systems." The Supreme Leader's eyes flashed with anger. "Impossible. The Empire will never surrender. Then the Empire will fall. One world at a time, one fleet at a time, until every slave is free and every tyrant is dead." The transmission ended. The Supreme Leader now understood what his forces had discovered at Earth. Humans could not be reasoned with when they believed something was right. 6 months later, the Free Worlds Coalition controlled half the galaxy. The HFY Empire was in full retreat, their 1,000-year reign of terror finally ending. On Earth, children played in parks where monuments honored the heroes of the Battle of Earth. Schools taught the history of the war and the importance of never accepting tyranny. President Murphy gave a speech to the Coalition Assembly, now meeting on Earth. 6 months ago, the HFY Empire demanded that humanity kneel. They thought we were weak because we showed mercy. They thought we were cowards because we sought peace. Her voice echoed through the assembly hall, reaching billions of beings across hundreds of worlds. They were wrong. When they demanded kneeling, humanity answered with fire and dust. When they brought slavery, we brought freedom. When they brought despair, we brought hope. She paused, looking out at the representatives of dozens of species who had thrown off their chains. Today, children play freely on worlds that knew only slavery for centuries. Today, species that had forgotten their own names remember who they are. Today, the galaxy knows that some things are worth fighting for. The applause went on for 10 minutes. Admiral Maya Johnson stood on the bridge of her flagship, looking out at a convoy of freed slaves returning to their home worlds. Her ships escorted them safely through space that had once belonged to the Empire. "Admiral, message from Earth Command," her communications officer reported. "What is it?" "New mission orders. Intelligence has located the last major HFY stronghold. They want the Ghost Fleet to scout it." Maya smiled. "Set course for the target. Time to finish what they started." The war was almost over. The mighty HFY Empire, which had ruled the galaxy for 1,000 years, was reduced to a handful of worlds. Their fleets were broken. Their slaves were free. But more importantly, something new had been born. The galaxy had learned that tyrants could be defeated, that freedom was possible, that some species would fight for what was right, no matter the cost. The HFY had demanded kneeling. Humanity had answered with fire and dust, and in doing so, They had lit a flame that would burn across the galaxy for generations to come. Children on a dozen worlds would grow up free because humans had refused to kneel. And if any future tyrant tried to enslave the galaxy, they would face not just humanity, but all the free peoples of the stars. The empire had fallen. The age of freedom had begun. And it all started because one species looked at the demand to kneel and said, "No."